thank you everyone for your patience. Sorry that we are a few minutes late, but this is the first time where we are doing sort of a hybrid model where we have council in person in the council chamber, and citizens can come and watch the meeting in person if they so choose, or you can continue to watch it on Zoom, and we will always stay on Zoom. So in this sort of as we come back to inching towards normal a little bit more, we will continue to obviously offer our council sessions on Zoom. So if you have questions, you can submit those during the day via the legal department, or you can also ask questions within the chat. So be patient with us if we have a few glitches tonight, because it is the first time we have done it this way. And when we're all on Zoom together, we can sometimes have echoes if we're not on mute or whatever. So anyways, donc, bienvenue au Conseil de la Ville de Westmount pour le 15 novembre 2021. It's very exciting. This is our first council meeting of this mandate, and I'm excited to welcome some new faces around the table, some new ideas, and we've got a ton of work to do. But I think what, you know, while I was acclaimed and I obviously didn't have a campaign, but we certainly have spent the last little while talking to citizens across the city, and with tons of feedback. And I think everybody who did have a campaign and went door to door, they've been sharing with us what their feedback has been and what's important to citizens. And I encourage you to continue to write to us and to communicate with us. And, you know, the priority obviously is citizens want us to invest in infrastructure. They want us to continue to invest in parks. They are challenging us to find new and better ways to communicate with them, and to continue the work that we're doing at urban planning to update that. So I continue, I want to hear from citizens. I hope that you're able to come in person or ask your questions online, but it's been a long campaign probably for those of you who had campaigns, but I want to thank all the candidates who run. And, you know, for those who weren't successful in their attempt, I salute you. I congratulate you. Everyone that I met and everybody that I talked to who was running for council did so because they want to improve their city. They want to continue to push us forward. So I want to say congratulations to all of you who put your names forward. And it's not easy in this day and age to be on city council, especially to decide to step up and serve your community while we come out, hopefully, of a pandemic, or hopefully that we're seeing the tail end of a pandemic, to step up and serve your community after 20 long months of that. I'm excited to work with all of you, and I'm excited of getting back to the work of the city. So, bienvenue à tout le monde. Welcome to everybody. And I will hand it over. I think a couple of councillors want to have updates. And just from my perspective, we will be announcing the commissionerships in the coming weeks. We should have that tabled at the beginning of December for the December meeting, but we are still moving around a few pieces in terms of who's going to be commissioner of what and what committees they will sit on. So stay tuned for that. But we have a lot of talent around this table. So we'll be announcing that in the coming weeks. So I will hand it out. I'll go from 8 this time. So Councillor Kez, I think, has an update.
Yeah, well, before my update, I'm grateful to the residents of District 8 for allowing me the opportunity to be a representative for the coming 4 years. There's a lot of work to do. I'll work hard representing you and for all of Westmount. So I'm very excited to start this new 4-year chapter. On my commissionership regarding property assessment role that will be enforced for the 3rd fiscal year of the trimestral property assessment role of 2020, 2021, 2022 has been deposited at the city clerk's office, where it is available for consultation. And just so you know, as you know, the assessment role is used to calculate both municipal and the school taxes. So you can have a look at it. It's available for consultation. That's it.
Thank you, Councillor Kez. Councillor Aronson, do you have an update, or do you want to say a few words?
Thank you, Mayor. Obviously, as I'm been a councillor for less than 10 hours now, officially, I have nothing real to update other than the fact that I am now the representative for District 7, so I'd like to thank the constituents who gave me their vote of confidence, and to reassure all of the residents of District 7 that I will be here to work hard for your interests. I look forward to hearing about the final outcome of the mayor's decisions on commissioners and committees. And I remain available to anyone who has any questions or concerns in my district or across the city. I now have, as all the new councillors do, an official City of Westmount email address, which you can find, I believe, on our website. So please don't hesitate if you have any questions or concerns to reach out to me. I look forward to working for you for the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Aronson. Councillor Gallery.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I firstly like to welcome the 3 new councillors to our team, Councillor D'Amico, Councillor Roon, Councillor Aronson. Welcome. I think we all look forward to working with you. And I too am very honored and privileged to represent District 6 for another term. And we have lots to do, as the mayor said. And there's, again, happy to represent District 6 and of course all citizens of Westmount. I have a few updates pertaining to sports and rec and the library. And I'll start with a great event we hosted on the weekend, our Artisans Festival, which is an annual event that we host that takes place in Victoria Hall. It was canceled last year due to the pandemic, so we were delighted to welcome back 34 artisans, and we purchased and donated to charity. So it was a huge success, and we're so happy to start having people and events back in the building. I'd also like to bring your attention that Westmount will be hosting HEMA Quebec. We'll be doing our blood drive in Victoria Hall. Takes place next Wednesday, November 24th. Registration is online with HEMA Quebec. They desperately need you, so please sign up and donate your blood. Also at this time of year, the Westmount Public Library is very proud to put our honey for sale. It's now available, $5 per jar with a maximum of 4 jars per person, cash only, and in-person pickup. We do have some holiday events coming up. Thursday, November 25th, we'll be doing the Christmas tree lighting at Prince Albert Square. Monday, November 29th, we'll be doing the Hanukkah celebration with the menorah lighting. Wednesday, December 1st, we do Christmas tree lighting at City Hall. Additionally, we have a new artist at our art gallery, which is attached to Victoria Hall. Mary Lou Friel will be on display between November 16th and December 14th. And as usual, as we're getting busier with our events, please check online with regards to our lectures, our film clubs, book clubs, concert, fireside chats, author events, and more. Everything on all the information is online. And lastly, last week, most of us, the new councillors and some old, were there to open the refrigerated ice rink in Westmount Park. It was a great, beautiful day, happy event, and we're delighted to offer that again to our residents. So please get out there and have a great skate. And registration for winter events takes place starting Tuesday, November 23rd. It's online only. All the information and our brochure with all the activities and programs are on the website. So that's it from me. And thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Gallery, for
Nice
those
to be back.
updates. Nice to be back in person as well. Do we have a date for the Murray Hill Toboggan Run? Speaking of the skating rink, do we know what day when we plan to blow the snow at Murray Hill?
We'll get back to him. We'll get back with it.
Perfect. But that, just so citizens know, that is also coming in the month of December. Councillor Bostock, District 5.
My goodness. What an event to be back in person at City Hall. It's fantastic. Needless to say, I'm thrilled to be back around the table, and it's definitely going to get some getting used to being on this side of the table. I have a new spot, but I am so incredibly proud to represent my community. I am going to give you a quick public security update. Officers were at Victoria Hall this weekend where the Artisans Festival happened. We had close to 1,200 guests who donated a non-perishable food item or a $2 entry fee, which goes towards the holiday gift baskets. The amount of money will be counted shortly. We will be doing our Giving Tuesday event on November 30th at Metro. And as of December 4th, donations that will be picked up on doorsteps citywide. So you'll be able to find out more information about that. Baskets are usually delivered to local families the third week of December. And if residents would like to make a financial donation, they can make that donation online as of November 30th, and the link will be on the city website. Donation boxes for non-perishables will be placed at all city buildings as of November 22nd. Details about all these events will be posted on social media and on our westmount.org website. And any questions can be directed directly to the Public Security Department at their main number 514-989-5222. And my last little update is it's our reminder every season to remember to lock the doors of your vehicles. In collaboration with the SPVM, Public Security was actually able to intercept 2 people for suspicious behavior. They were prowling on properties and were checking vehicle doors. Both people were known to police and were arrested. So it's really important that we give people, little opportunity to steal from our cars. And if you see anyone or anybody acting suspicious, you are encouraged to call Public Security or call 911 to report it. And as the holidays are coming, sage advice from the SPVM was, it stands true that people should not be posting on social media that they are away. And I would encourage you to use Public Security, our free service for special passing while you're away. And that's my update.
Thank you, Councillor Bostock. Now I will turn to this side of the table. Councillor Peart, are you going to?
Sure. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't have any specific updates, but I am happy to be back in this room, happy to be back with my fellow councillors, and most happy to welcome our 3 new councillors. And I look forward to this new mandate and the trust that the citizens have placed in us, and we have a lot to get done. So I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. Councillor Chamy is going to take a pass now. Councillor Roux, est-ce que vous avez quelque chose? Ou?
Well, I'd like to tell residents of Sorry about that. So I'll start over. I just want to say thank you to the residents of District 2 because I'm very honored to be sitting here. And if I have the honor, it's because il y en a assez parmi vous qui m'ont fait confiance pour que je vienne vous représenter ici. Alors, merci, and know that I will work hard to continue to make this city a wonderful place we love to live in. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Roux. Councillor D'Amico, do you have anything to add before we?
No, just a few
Wrap this.
short words. I'm also very honored and humbled to be representing my neighbors in District 1. So it's a pleasure. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you for the updates, everybody. And we will, I think everybody's glad. It is nice to be back in person and to be with members of our administration as we start this mandate. So we will now move into the question period with questions that were submitted online. I think we will address, well, are there any questions from the, I don't know how we can do that. Do you have a question? Anyone? No, Madame Jondal? Not to put you on the spot, but I suspected you were here because you have a question. So you can, we will do the in-person question first, and then we will move to the online questions if that works for you. Would you like to ask your question first, or would you like to go last? They all work for the city, so they are not here to ask questions. It is just you. One and only. He also works for the city. He is our IT director. You may remove your mask, Madame Jondal, and you can come up to the mic, and it's the same rules apply. So you'll have to speak in the mic so it's recorded. And he will, Claude, she's going to use that microphone. Elle va utiliser le micro là-bas. OK. Dans les mêmes règles, state your name and your question.
Of course. Caroline Jondal, cautious optimist from District 7.
Welcome.
Thank you.
First in-person question since February 2020.
And what a joy to see you all in person again, all of you. Okay. At the risk of sounding, what shall I say, redundant? I hope not. Really, I do hope not. The first part of my question is not going to ask you how delighted you are to be here, because I hear from all of you that you truly are. So I'm pleased. The citizens in the group are pleased. You know, I'm a bit theatrical, unplanned and spontaneous, I can assure you, truly. All right.
And when needed, I will encourage you to get to your question.
I'm sure you will. That has been your practice, not only with me. So perhaps part one of my question is just a tiny preface, and that is, do you all know how privileged we are? Truly, I think we do today. I think we did last week and the past year. Truly privileged we are all to live in Westmount, in Montreal, Greater Montreal, in Quebec, well, also in Canada. But really, there's so many dimensions to that. And of course, one of the most important ones to me is to have a comprehensive, sustainable, green strategy. But I mean, how do we do that? You alluded to budgets and responsibilities and what the citizens want. And hey, I'm a citizen who doesn't want to fall on icy streets either. That would be, you know, problematic. But I do not think we need machines on the street. Just out here about 4 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever we last met, and it was the winter, that tried to get the ice off of this one patch, and finally, and the noise and the you know, the toxins from the diesel or CO2 was really terrible. So I spoke with the young man behind the, and he said, I've been ordered to do this, you know, right by the sidewalk in front of City Hall. But I said, wouldn't it be more effective to actually, you know, axe and pick and shovel and human power, and you wouldn't be spreading the noise or the toxins, which is all right. So moving on from that, the importance of a decarbonization budget, a green, sustainable budget, not just symbolically, but there are, you know, there are particulars, there are specifics. The day after the all candidates meeting, we're moving into part two. The day after the, I don't know if it was October 27th or 28th, but I went to my friend's magnificent garden on de Maisonneuve because I'm her garden fairy. But oh my goodness, on what is that, Kitchener, there was this terrible commotion, truly, coming from Kitchener, right by her lane.
A leaf blower?
Pardon me?
A leaf blower?
Oh, I thought you meant Lower Westmount. Yes, indeed, I do live in Lower Westmount.
No,
So
was it a leaf blower that was making the terrible noise?
Unfortunately, sadly, it was a huge, monstrous loader, City of Westmount owned. In addition, a huge truck blazoned in the colors of Westmount, which I think are Bordeaux color, whatever. That's my favorite wine, so that's the only way I can remember it. No, I go off on tangents.
I know. But my job is to encourage you to get to your question so that we can try and get to an answer for you.
I was shocked, and my question to them, firstly, and then to you, was, oh my goodness, what are you doing here? because they go along every street, as I understand, and they scrape, and the noise and the toxins is intolerable, but it's intolerable for the collective atmosphere. Now, so that's what I witnessed, and that's what is of concern, because that's what my city is endorsing. There are alternative solutions, and that night I went home and I was extremely tired after the gardening, but I called Public Works, and what's his name? Pablo Martinez called me back. I mean, it's amazing, because it was about 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. He called me back and I could barely speak, but he actually, was so engaging that we did speak. And so I was seeking alternatives. And he said, Madame, je suis pas la personne qui fait les décisions. Leadership, essential leadership is made on that.
Okay, so I'm going to have to, we have other questions, so you have to get to the question. I think you're asking a.
All right, right to my question then.
Okay.
Right to my
Thank you.
question. We've witnessed the devastation in Lytton. We've witnessed today the devastation in Merritt, BC, mudslides, devastating droughts in the prairies, devastating rainfall in BC. We can go outside of Canada to the Pacific Islands, to Belgium, wherever we go in the world. And from what I understand from the people I listen to, and my own sensibilities say that even if we commit to making just what might be making minuscule efforts here in our, tiny, beautiful place where we live, it will contribute to the decrease in decarbonization. And it is essential. So finish,
I'm going to ask you one more time to get to the
Yes,
question,
thank
because we
you.
have to move on to the next
Strikes and
question.
you're out. You're quite right. I understand.
Yeah.
So I want to know if this council this year will begin tonight, will begin now, to have a compassionate collaboration with all those places where their homes are being destroyed, lives are being destroyed, and so is our earth. And that's my question to you. Can you comprehensively, through public works, through urban planning materials, through budgeting, through really searching, can you please?
Yeah, I think, so thank you for your question.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Thank you for your commitment to sustainability, and thank you for actively engaging in this community always to push us forward. You raised very good points, and I think one of the things you will see over the coming weeks as we name a new commissioner who will be responsible for sustainability is that they will have an ability to work with every department. It is not just public works, but it is largely, but we have to also remember that we are a small 2x2 kilometer municipality, and we should work on the things that we can really change. So when we look at waste diversion, when we look at our composting rates, we have a huge number of our citizens, almost half, that are living in apartment buildings. We need to make sure that our composting is reaching the large buildings as well. And so single family homes, we're doing really well. Smaller, under 6 units, we are getting there, but we really need to focus, and the work was done by Councillor Brushke in the previous mandate to lay the groundwork with the team at Public Works to really expand the compost program, waste diversion, the recycling program, and essentially using less. But what I can tell you as well is, being this small 2x2 kilometer city, we have a voice of the agglomeration as well, and people tend to listen. We are fortunate in that when we raise issues, people tend to listen. So an issue like banning leaf blowers, which I did try to ban gas leaf blowers, and then they had every resident of Westmount call my home number, which is now disconnected. In case you're, that was the landscapers did that. So don't try and call me at home, because everybody did. So, but what would make more sense is if gas leaf blowers are banned agglomeration wide, so across the island, that will have impact. And so we will lead it, and we can say, listen, you can come along with us and you can be part of this solution, or we can go it alone. But it makes a whole lot more sense for us all to be part of the solution on those issues, to work with the agglomeration on that. And you're raising points about technology in our trucks and our cars and how we do them and how we need to move towards electric vehicles. And that is certainly going to be asked at every time that we buy a vehicle and we purchase something. And I know at times it looks very clumsy when there's a dumpster or a backhoe, I guess that's what you would call that, a backhoe picking up bags of leaves. They actually tend to be a ton of them, but they are composted. But it is not, is it the most elegant way to get it? Probably not. And it's disturbing, and I get all that. So all of these things will be examined. But this is the issue and the crisis of our day. And we're a tiny city, but we have to do our part. And so we can do our part on very concrete steps. So does anyone else want to comment on that before we move to the next questions? Anyone want to? But I thank you for your commitment again. And I know there had been some discussions about how we can engage citizens on that. So we will be sure to, I'm sure we'll be connecting on that.
So glad you raised that. We need the leadership awards.
Goodness
Madame
me.
Mayor.
Sorry, you were echoing. What was the last?
I said, je suis très content que vous avez mentionné la collaboration. Il y a toujours les awards pour le leadership. Comme on a présenté le dernier term, la dernière fois. Donc, oups, je suis pas ici pour ça. Je suis pour vous encourager, not push, parce que c'est pas très élégant push, mais je vous encourage.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Donc, on va continuer avec d'autres questions. Merci beaucoup. Je pense que M. Campbell va lire les questions.
Oui, Madame la mairesse, nous avons deux questions qui étaient postées plus tôt ce matin. The first question is from Mr. Dennis Bureau on Burton. His question is, the results of the third park survey confirm that Westmount residents are clearly divided on the proposed park design. Of the 8 items, only 2 showed support from 2 out of 3 people. 4 were basically split down the middle and 2 were rejected. If residents were now asked if they saw the current consultation process as fair and competent, the answer would be a resounding no. We can't just move on to the final design. The process handled by the supplier has been muddled and lacking in transparency. Our park deserves better. It's time for a reset. When will Mr. Hakim restructure the process to ensure that residents will be satisfied that their voices were heard and their opinions, needs, and desires are factored into the final design?
Thank you, Mr. Bureau, for your question. And if for those that are listening and may not have seen it, the results from the survey that took place at the end of August, the beginning of September, are on our website under the Engage Westmount icon. You can find the results there, and it's been broken down as to what the feedback was. I forget the exact number, but we had quite a few responses. I think it was somewhere in the 1,200 range-ish. And that's what we wanted. We wanted to hear from more citizens, and it's true. There was no, you're accurate. There maybe was no overwhelming majority or consensus in favor of all of the items presented in the last survey, but nonetheless, a majority of respondents, 50% or more, expressed a positive appreciation for 5 out of the 8 items on the survey. But I think, you know, what Mr. Bureau is saying and what others are saying is that they certainly need more consultation on this. They want to have a better understanding. And when I've walked the park with several residents, people have asked me to come walk the park with them. And I've gone through to hear what their specific concerns are. And listen, there are things, certainly things that I didn't like about the presentation or the ideas that were put forward, namely the bridge. I thought was excessive. I thought a water fountain and a splash pad was somewhat redundant. But there are things that I do like and things that I appreciate. And all of those ideas came out of the public consultation. And it was hard to do those public consultations during COVID. And I think what we need to do is, when it's safe and when we can, certainly re-engage the population on this. But there are, the fact of the matter is, some of the infrastructure in the park has reached its end of life, and we will have no choice but to fix that. But at the end of the day, Westmount Park will be and look like Westmount Park and the jewel that it is. But we do need to fix a couple things, and we need, the jungle gyms have an end of life. They have to be replaced. And if you look around at other cities across the island and across anywhere across Canada, if you go, I mean, I spend a lot of time going to other parks to get inspiration, and there's incredible ideas out there, and there's incredible innovation that's happened in the park since we have put in those jungle gyms and splash pads and things like that. So I want people to be assured that I think we all share the common goal is that we love Westmount Park. We love the way it is. We love the connection to the library and the WRC, and we love that there's soccer fields there. But we need to make we certainly need to make some infrastructure upgrades. So there is no final design yet. There is lots of consulting left to do. And we'll continue to hear from residents, and we'll continue to, walk the park with you and hear what you have to say. So on that note, does anyone else want to add in that? Mr. Hakeem or anyone else on council want to take that? No? Okay, and then I think, je pense qu'il y a une autre question, Monsieur Campbell.
Oui, Monsieur Fred Gervin on Victoria. Thank you, Mayor Smith, for taking on another term. The recently built Stainer Park splash pad has a total price tag of $434,253.08, construction and study included. The concrete splash pad area is 1,184.03 square feet, or 110 square meters, putting construction costs per square foot at $366.68. A quick Google search puts the price of a concrete pool at around $100 per square foot in Canada. However, this may be unfair. This may be an unfair comparison since a pool requires more concrete and labor. The cost of concrete has not escalated like lumber. Maybe splash pad concrete is really expensive. Is this how future projects will be priced?
I'm not, thank you for your question about, obviously future projects are priced on the project, but the splash pad it was the lowest bidder. We set out what we wanted in the park and the requirements for that, and that was awarded. The contract was awarded to the lowest bidder, and they delivered a splash pad that I think people in the neighborhood and the kids, certainly the kids in the neighborhood, have really appreciated. And that park has had a lot of investment, and that park gets heavily used, but splash pads like that are a great addition to any park, but that is the cost of the contract. But thank you for your input and for your questioning, but I don't know if anyone else wants to add anything on the construction of the Stainer splash pad. Councillor Kez is the councillor for the district. Do you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, I had spoken to Mr. Gervin. I know it was very curious, and he was wondering why we spend $400,000 on something that's concrete. And at naked eye, I would agree. But when you look, the whole infrastructure at the bottom, I remember when they put in the box and all the pipes going under. I mean, I don't know, but I know it was the lowest conforming bidder. I know the product is very much used. I don't know how much we paid for the one in Prince Albert Park, but I think we're within the price range. There's a lot of detail that went into this splash pad. So I don't really know how to compare it to whether, price per concrete. It's more than concrete. It was the whole underneath plumbing. And anyway, it was very complex for me.
Thank you.
Thank you
for your question, Mr. Gervin.
Madam Mayor, there's a comment that was written in by one of the attendees, Mr. Robert Babchak. He writes, "Dear Madam Mayor and dear councillors, congratulations to the entire council on your new mandate. Wishing everyone much success on moving our city forward to the benefit of all."
Thank you, Mr. Babchak, for your wishes. Thank you very much. And I think there's a comment
back from Mr. Biro. Follow-up question. Consultations run by the supplier rarely work as there is a huge inherent conflict of interest. Imagine 2040 correctly used outside process consultants.
Okay, that's a comment, I guess, on, I'm not sure if that's a comment on the previous public consultations of, Stantec ran with the city and others, the public consultations for the park that took place in Victoria Hall. but your comments are noted. Thank you, Mr. Bureau. Is that it for questions?
Oui, madame, c'est tout pour le moment.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Campbell. Donc, on va commencer avec le point numéro 4, avec l'adoption de l'ordre du jour. And I'm pleased to say that Councillor Shammy has taken on the role of pro-mayor for the first part of this mandate, for the first 3 months. So my appreciation to him. And I will hand it over to him avec l'adoption de l'ordre du jour.
Merci, Madame la mairesse. Je propose que l'ordre du jour de la séance ordinaire du Conseil du 15 novembre 2021 soit adopté.
Merci beaucoup. Est-ce que j'ai un appuyeur pour ça? Monsieur Peart, tout en faveur? Thank you. Item number 5, again, Councillor Sham. Oh, with the addition of new business under item number
Yes.
1501, which will be moved by Councillor Shammy as well, or who is?
Councillor Peart.
Oh, Councillor Peart, sorry. 1501 will be moved by Councillor Peart. Okay. Moving on to item number 5, numéro 5 encore, Monsieur Shammy, c'est l'approbation des procès-verbaux.
Merci, Madame la mairesse. I'd like to move that the minutes of the regular council sitting held on October 4th, 2021, as well as the minutes of the special council sitting and of the demolition committee sitting held October 7th, 2021, be approved.
Thank you very much. A seconder on this should be Councillor Gallery. All in favor? Carried. Item number 6, rapport au conseil 6.1. There is no correspondence to table. 6.2, le procès-verbaux du comité plénier. 6.2, the minutes of the general committee. Councillor Shammy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. 6.2, hold on for a second here. Thank you.
Bottom.
The minutes of, I move that the minutes of the general committee meetings of council held September 20, September 27th, 2021 are now tabled and are now available on the city's website.
Thank you very much. Item 6.3 is a new item that we have on the agenda, and it is the list of duties on transfer and invoices. Councillor Kez. I can list it for the list of duties on.
No, it's fine, but
Okay.
Okay. The list of duties on transfers for the month of October 2021 is tabled. There's about 30 transactions amounting to $809,000.
Thank you very much. And item number 7, appointment of acting mayors 2021-2022. Councillor Peart.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Whereas in accordance with the first paragraph of section 56 of the Cities and Towns Act, RLRQ, chapter C19, the council shall appoint a councillor as acting mayor for the period it determines. I move that Councillor Jeff J. Shammy be appointed acting mayor for the months of November and December 2021, as well as January 2022. That Councillor Antonio D'Amico be appointed acting mayor for the months of February, March, and April 2022. That Councillor Elizabeth Roux be appointed acting mayor for the months of May, June, and July 2022. That Councillor Conrad Peart be appointed acting mayor for the months of August, September, and October 22, and that Councillor Anitra Bostock be appointed acting mayor for the months of November and December 22, as well as January 23.
Thank you, Councillor Peart. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Shammy. All in favor? Carried. Item number 8, temporary appointment executive assistant in the mayor's office. Councillor Shammy again.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that Ms. Lena Balden be appointed to the position of executive assistant of the mayor's office, grade 12, effective October 18th, 2021, in accordance with the salary recommendation of the Director of Human Resources Department as stipulated in decision-making file number 2021-1391, and according to the terms provided for in the working conditions and remuneration of management personnel.
Thank you, Mr. Shammy. Councillor Shammy, do I have a seconder on this? Would Councillor Aronson would like to second this.
So second.
And this is a temporary replacement as the executive assistant in my office. So thank you very much. All in favor? Carried. Item number 9, numero 9, is Councillor Gallery, and this is Giving Tuesday support from the city of Westmount. Mardi, je donne appui de la ville de Westmount. Councillor Gallery.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I will read the whereases. Whereas after Black Friday and Cyber Monday comes Giving Tuesday, a global day of giving that encourages activities in support of charities and nonprofit organizations. Whereas Giving Tuesday was established in New York City in 2012 by the United Nations Foundation in partnership with local community-based organizations to celebrate philanthropy and volunteering. Whereas Giving Tuesday is now celebrated by more than 7,000 Canadian charities as the opening day of the holiday giving season. Whereas Giving Tuesday is an opportunity to encourage residents to help others throughout the holiday season and throughout the year. Whereas the city of Westmount wishes to encourage its residents to support charities within its territory. I move that the city of Westmount support the Giving Tuesday initiative that will take place on Tuesday, November 30th, 2021, and invite all residents to participate.
Thank you, Councillor Gallery. A seconder on this will be Councillor Roux. This is a great initiative, and we hope that many citizens come out and support this. You can see our public security team and hopefully many members of council outside Cinq Saisons, as well as Metro, trying to get people to donate to our food drive to help with Christmas baskets, either by food, with donating food or money. So thank you for bringing this forward. All in favor? Carried. Item number 10, numéro 10, la modalité de versement de la contribution gouvernementale dans le cadre du programme de la taxe sur l'essence et de la contribution du Québec, also known as the TEC program, pour les années 2019 à 2023. Councillor Kez.
Oui, je commence. Entendu que la ville a pris connaissance de le guide relatif aux modalités de versement de la contribution gouvernementale dans le cadre du programme de taxe sur l'essence et de la contribution de Québec, TEC, pour l'année 2019 à 2023. Entendu que la ville doit respecter les modalités de ce guide qui s'appliquent à elle pour recevoir des contributions gouvernementales qui lui a été confirmée dans une lettre de la ministère des Affaires municipales de l'Habitation à cet effet. I move that the City of Westmount commit to complying with the terms and conditions of the guide relative aux modalités de versement de la contribution gouvernementale dans le cadre du programme de la taxe sur l'essence de la contribution du Québec pour l'année 2019 à 2023 that apply in its case. That the City of Westmount commit to being the sole body in charge and to release the governments of Canada and Quebec, as well as their ministers, senior officials, employees, and agents of any responsibility relating to claims, requirements, losses, damages, costs of any kind based on injury inflicted to a person, the death of this person, any damages done to property, or the loss of property attributable to the deliberate or careless act ensuing directly or indirectly from the investments made through the financial assistance obtained under the 2019-2023 TEC program. The City of Westmount approve the content and authorize the transmission of the schedule of work number 2 attached herewith to the Ministère des Affaires municipales et de l'Habitation and all other documents required by the ministère in order to receive the government contribution, which was confirmed in a letter of the Ministère des Affaires municipales d'Habitation to that effect. That the City of Westmount commit to achieving the minimum capital works imposed to him for the entire 5-year program. That the City of Westmount commit to informing the Ministère des Affaires municipales de l'Habitation of any modifications made to the schedule of works approved under the present resolution. That the City of Westmount hereby certify that, as per this resolution, the schedule of work number 2 attached herewith includes the true expenditures incurred.
Thank you, Councillor Kez. A seconder on this will be Councillor Bostock. Any further comments on this?
Yeah, so the TEC program is really comprised of 2 parts. One part being the revenue from the federal excess tax and gasoline, and the other is from contribution from Government Quebec. Funds are used for us to help with our various infrastructure projects such as drinking water, wastewater, local roads, etc. And just so you know, we had to do this to obtain the financing. A list of eligible work to be carried out for each of the years must be submitted to MAMA. And that's it.
Thank you very much. All in favor? Carried. Item number 11, ratification of an expropriation indemnity agreement, lots 5064111, lot 6157481, and lot 4779653, and 6157479. Councillor Bostock.
I move that the city of Westmount ratify the partial agreement negotiated by its lawyers and the director of the engineering department, Ms. Elisa Gaetano, that the director of legal services of the city or the assistant director of legal services be authorized to sign all documents that may be required to give full effect to the agreement reached, including any transaction and any notarized act.
Thank you. A seconder on this will be Councillor Peart. Any further comments? No. All in favor? Carried. Item number 12, numéro 12, partage des coûts, étude de caractérisation des sols avec la STM. C'est Councillor, the Conseil Gallery.
Whereas a litigation is in the process with the Société de Transport de Montréal in the court filing CS.500-05-029797-972. Whereas it is in the interest of the city of Westmount that the expertise on the characterization of the soils of the land in dispute be done jointly with the Société des Transports de Montréal. Whereas an amount of $146,046.25 is provided in the city of Westmount's book for these studies. I move to authorize the payment of a maximum expenditure of $122,301.66 plus applicable net taxes as the city of Westmount's contribution to the characterization work.
Thank you very much. A seconder on this will be Councillor Peart. Any further comments on this?
There's contaminated soil down near the Home Depot, and we're sharing the costs with the STM to look for the source of contamination.
Yeah, and this is a long ongoing file that the city has been dealing with for years. Okay, thank you. All in favor? Item number 13, notice of motion bylaw 1582 to further amend bylaw 1507 on the delegation of powers to certain officers of the city of Westmount. Councillor Shammy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I give notice of the intention to submit for adoption at a subsequent meeting of council bylaw number 1582 entitled Bylaw 1582 to further amend bylaw 1507 on the delegation of powers to certain officers of the city of Westmount. The object of this bylaw, Madam Mayor, is to amend the definition of Director General and to add the definition of Assistant Director General. The object of this bylaw is also to modify certain powers delegated to the Director General and to specify the powers delegated to the Assistant Directors General. A copy of the draft bylaw is now tabled and available for public consultation.
Thank you very much. This does not require a note because it's just a vote because it's a notice of motion. So item number 14, adoption of a second draft bylaw 1578 to further amend zoning bylaw 1303, creation of commercial zones on St. Catherine Street West. I will hand it over to the substitute city clerk, which is also the Director General.
How do you mute it?
You're muted. I think you have to start again.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Donc, je voulais signaler que toutes les formalités requises pour la dispense de lecture de ce règlement ont été respectées et que des copies du règlement ont été remises à tous les membres du conseil et mises à disposition du public. J'aimerais expliquer que l'objectif est de modifier le plan de zonage de manière à créer la zone C4-32-03 à même les zones R39-32, R9-32-01 et R4-32-03, laquelle disparaît, de modifier le plan de zonage de manière à créer la zone C4-34-15 à même les zones R4-34-12 et C1-34-11 et d'adopter les grilles d'usage pour lesquelles les grilles de spécification et physico-spatiales pour ces deux nouvelles zones pour y autoriser un large éventail d'usages de bureaux et de commerce en changeant le moins possible les hauteurs et les densités maximales autorisées. Une copie de ce projet de règlement est déposée et disponible pour consultation.
Merci beaucoup. Est-ce que je peux avoir la déclaration de la part de chaque membre du conseil présent à la fin qu'il ou elle a lu le règlement et que la lecture en est dispensée? Can I have the declaration by each member of council present that he or she has read the bylaw and that reading is waived thereof? So declared. Thank you very much. Councillor Gallery.
I move that the second draft of bylaw number 1578 entitled Bylaw to Further Amend Zoning Bylaw 1303, Creation of Commercial Zones on St. Catherine Street West be adopted.
Thank you very much. A seconder on this will be Councillor Peart. Any further comments on this? This is to address some zoning issues along St. Catherine, specifically around what's been known as Clifford's historically throughout in the city of Westmount. So all in favor? Carried. And now we have our item of new business 1501, and that is Councillor Gallery again. Oh, no, it's Councillor Peart. You may excuse, Councillor Peart.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that an agreement. That's right. Yep. I move that an agreement be entered into with Transvac Montréal Laval Inc. for the supply of 18 trucks for snow removal operations during the 2021-2022 winter season for a maximum guarantee of $9,500 before taxes per truck based on the hourly rates fixed by the Ministère des Transports du Québec. To authorize an expenditure in the amount of $140,852.25, including tax credits for the 2021 fiscal year for the supply of 18 trucks for snow removal operations during the 2021-2022 winter season. To award to Transvac Montréal Laval Incorporé the contract for the supply of 18 trucks for snow removal operations during the 2021 winter season for a minimum amount of $171,000 plus taxes and a maximum amount of $1,171,500 plus taxes. To allocate this expenditure in accordance with the financial information included in the decision-making file number 2021-1378. That the Director General be authorized to sign the agreement and any other document required to give full effect to this resolution.
Thank you, Councillor Peart. A seconder on this will be Councillor Shammy. And this is, do you want to comment on this about
sure, quickly,
being prepared for winter?
As explained to me, we always try to be prepared. We have 18 trucks that we were able to secure for this upcoming season. We target 40 usually, and so we are. I believe we're still looking for the remaining 22, or that's part of an ongoing tender. So this is the first split. This is as provided by this supplier, and we're going to move on to the next one.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And as we all know, snow clearing is part of our core business. So we are working hard to be ready, and they will be ready for that whenever it may arrive. So on that note, all in favor? Carried. So thank you for those who watched online. Merci tout le monde qui est avec. Oh, oui, on a une deuxième période de questions. So if there are any, I'm not seeing any, but if you have, we do have a second question period. So I would, if you have a question, you can submit it online. I see Madame Jandal has approached the mic for those of you who, oh, so she will be, actually, you'll see her on the screen if you are watching from home. And I would encourage Madame Jandal to ask her question.
Oops. Thank you. Concerning the budget for the snow, pardon me, please, snow removal trucks, vehicles, it was 1 million plus. It's difficult to hear back here. And at the same time, consistent to my first question, I want to know very specifically, please, whether that will be tracked with the cost, the carbon cost, in terms of the decarbonization awareness, tracking the decarbonization, what you expect the emissions will be, will not only give the council, the city of Westmount, and potentially the agglomeration, a statistic to be aware of and work with, but potentially it will lead to real strategy. Thank you.
Thank you for your question and your comment. And our trucks are tracked. We know how long they're on the road. They are, I think I know what you're trying to ask, but it is noted. And we will get back to you with how we are going to manage that type of information to you. Okay. Thank you very much. And all these trucks will have side rails on them, as is required in the city of Westmount. So on that note, I think I'm not seeing any questions online. Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions en ligne?
No, madame.
No. Okay. Mais merci beaucoup. Thank you, everyone, for those who are online and those who are in person. And it's good to be back at the council table. Donc, merci beaucoup. À bientôt.